Hi everybody, I want to do. It seems as though every year at this time we talk about domestic violence as there is a spike in domestic killings towards the end and the beginning of each year. I know that last year at this time I had to share my own story, my experience with domestic violence, as we had a spate of domestic killings as well. Last year I typed it out. I actually did a series of blog posts about it because I wasn't ready to talk about it in front of a camera. But that helped me to heal, and I think this year I'm ready to talk about it. So with this video, I'm just gonna share my story because domestic violence affects women, a lot of Jamaican women. You'd be surprised at how many Jamaican women are domestic violence victims. It does not care where we're from. It doesn't care which socioeconomic background we're from. It doesn't. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how our personalities are, whether we're outgoing or whether we're reserved. A lot of us are affected or have suffered through some episode of domestic violence, and I just want to remember what I went through and why I'm here today. Interestingly, I was listening to Dr. Walcott, who is a psychiatrist. I think it's Jeffrey Walcott, his name is. He was on the radio a little earlier. He was talking about why we have such a high level of domestic violence in Jamaica, and he linked it to alcoholism. I just remember my ex-husband, was an alcoholic at the time, but he stated that alcohol actually triggers morbid jealousy in alcoholics, and I'm just learning this. It says a lot, but it's deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. It has to do with how we've been socialized. And a friend of mine who also had been domestically abused, she went through her episodes of domestic violence. She said that when she was growing up, her elders around her used to beat her to wash the white clothes properly and tell her, say, her husband a go beat her, her man a go beat her when she grow up. It's just a problem with how we're socialized, how Jamaican boys and girls are socialized to believe that violence is the norm. And it is displayed right throughout our society. But I had my own struggles with domestic violence. I loved my husband at the time dearly, and to me, he could have done no wrong. And I was young, and I didn't realize that I was being conditioned over time, because domestic violence just don't get up one day and hit you. That's not how they operate. Over time, they basically diminish your self-worth over a period of time. So that's how it starts. They basically make you feel less than human, less than yourself. Basically, no other man not going to want you, so you better stay with them. And they try to isolate you from people who you love, people, family. They want to be everywhere with you. It starts out with control, and that's something that I experienced. I experienced a lot of it. Started with verbal abuse as well, emotional abuse, even financial abuse. You understand? It's a series of events that doesn't start at violence. It doesn't become violent immediately. But what I really want to do this video for, I want to basically encourage Jamaican women. You can get out. It's hard. Listen, I had to start my life over. When you're married to somebody for as long as I was married to my ex-husband, I had to start my life over from scratch. Even right now, I'm still not there. It's been 5 years since I finally got out, but I am still not back to where I need to be. And it has been a struggle. I will never tell a soul that it is easy, but I'm alive. I'm alive. And you know, what makes it worse is that, or what makes it better, what makes it good, I should say, is that at least now we have a cordial relationship for the children. You understand? And it took me some time to get there because last year at this time I wasn't there. I can tell you last year at this time I wasn't there. And I think that telling my story, putting it out there, helped me a lot to, it's not even about forgiveness, but it's about getting over it because I was so angry and I held on to it. You understand? So it took some time for me to get to where I am because I had the rage bottled up inside of me. And I can tell you that I took it out on my children and it's normal. So I want to encourage Jamaican women who go through this to just hold on. It gets better. Right? First of all, you need to plan your exit strategy. Don't get up and decide, say, you're going to act out of. Don't try to act out of anger. Don't make your emotions determine how you act. You have to plan this thing properly. You have to sit down and work it out. You have to think about it with a cool head. You understand? Because when you are guided by your emotions, you act stupidly. And for instance, I was guided by my emotions a couple of times. I run to my parents' house. He come back to my parents' house for me. And you can't tell him say you're not coming because he will camp out. You can't do anything. It's like a psychological wear and tear. You understand? And you see this young lady, Nevia Sinclair, who went back to her parents' house. This man, when he realized she's not coming home, he break in the house and kill her. You understand? And it's real. I remember going to a house that I had that we weren't living in at that time to stay there, and my ex-husband broke the window pane to try to get to me. You understand? He broke it when I wouldn't let him in. You understand? I had somebody there with me, which is probably why in the end he ended up leaving. You understand? Because good for me, I didn't try to stay alone. In the end, for me to get away, I had to go to somewhere that I was inaccessible. And it is not easy. It takes support. It takes a lot of support. It takes support from family. It takes support from friends. At the time, I had my spouse, my current spouse now, who was willing to put me up. Right? So I did have a catch. You understand? And that's what I had to do to get my life back together. I had to stay somewhere that he couldn't access me. Because everywhere he bucked me up a road, him attack me, he would physically attack me. If I got to drop my daughter to dancing or to pick her up, he would be there to attack me, to physically attack me. If I went out with my friends, I remember being at Pulse one night on Trafalgar Road, and he saw me there with my friends and he attacked me at Pulse. These are the things that I had to go through. You understand? And so I perfectly understand that it's not a situation where women can just get up and leave, and we have to deal with the factor of the shame as well. It's very, you're shame because you don't want the world to know that this man butter bruising you, especially when you're an outgoing, bubbly person, and on the face of it all, everybody thinks that you're happily married. You don't want the world to know. You understand? I remember being pushed down the stairs already by my ex-husband, and I had a knee injury. I was on crutches and he pushed me down the stairs. You understand? And to explain how my knee hurt up back so badly, I had to be creative. You understand? I mean, him bite me already and I had to tell people, says the dog bite me. Some of the things that I just I remember, I can talk about. I totally understand what Jamaican women face. At the end of the day though, the exit strategy is what is most important, and people who know victims of domestic abuse, domestic violence need to be more supportive. You know, I was horrified a few days ago when my daughter said to me, "Mommy, round by grandma's community, there was one of the neighbors beating up his wife, and people were just watching and staring and whatever, and nobody called the authorities. I was so incensed by this. And you know, she said to me that auntie said that if Kamala was there, it couldn't go so, because Kamala would have done something. And she's right. It, we have to be we have to take collective responsibility. We have to take collective responsibility to protect the lives of women, right? It's not even just women, because you have same-sex relationships. There was a same-sex relationship where there was a victim of domestic violence too. He was killed by his spouse, his partner. You understand? And I'm not discriminating, because domestic violence is domestic violence and it needs to be addressed. There needs to be awareness. There needs to be acceptance that this is a problem. The police need to do more. The police need to do more. You know, I remember calling the police on my ex-husband a couple times, and it was dealt with in such a trivial way. I mean, one of them make comments say, boy, them never know say these things happen uptown. It was a long while ago. You understand? And I mean, they took these things so lightly. And I have friends who share with me the experience that the authorities do not pay enough attention to domestic cases. And I have been through it. Personally, I've been through it, so I know. Especially when the men are well connected, it's very difficult to get anywhere, right? The only advice I can give to women who are suffering is to plan with a cool head. You understand? You have to remember last year, the vlog about left the man under Sykes. It was for this same reason. You have to sometimes leave them and them don't even realize they leave them. Oh, I just can't go by mommy for a while. Do not leave in anger. Don't say, oh, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back. No. Mommy's sick. I'm going to stay with mommy and take care of mommy for a while. Or something. I'm going to go look for whatever. Don't allow these men to realize that you are leaving them, because this is when they will go berserk and kill you, right? And when you are leaving, permanently change your number. Make sure wherever you're going to, he can't access you. Make sure you have somebody who is with you at all times, because that's what I'm talking from experience, and this is what I had to do, right? Thank God for my current spouse. Him just make up his mind saying Nina left my side. He was just always there with me, because he knew that I was afraid. You understand? He knew that I was afraid, so he really came through for me. I mean, this was the only way that this man would just leave me alone. And with everything that I'm saying now and I'm talking about, listen to me. I enjoy a cordial relationship with my ex right now. I'm not bringing all of this up to me put him in a bad light. I mean, he I'm sure had to go through a lot to get over that period of his life as well. It is just my experience. This is not to make him look bad, because as I said, this is the father of my children, and my children know, because they were there. My children, especially the two older ones, they witnessed a lot of the fighting. They did. You understand? So they know, right? But we get over that. We go through counseling. They went through counseling, and I'm beyond that, but it's still an experience that I have to talk about without shame. You understand? Without shame, because it's something that we should be able to share freely. And listen to me for a minute. I got violent too, because after a while there is just so much you can take and no more. When I tell people that I hit my ex-husband down with my car, oh, he should be in jail. But when I tell them, say, for me to get to the point where I hit him down with my car, it's because he was physically abusing me. I may use my car and run him over. The argument changed. But you see, that's the bottom line. It's a toxic relationship. And there are many toxic relationships in Jamaica, because some of these women, they fight back. We went through this last year with the killing of this woman and her daughter in St. James. Remember that story? And the man drive through all of the state of emergency them with his son, come Spanish Town, drop off the picnic at Spanish Town, and then drive himself over Flatbridge. It was last year, right? So these things have been going on. And every year we talk about it, but it's time that we do something about it. We need to, as women especially, offer support to women who are going through it, because the majority of us have been with some man at some point who is abusive. It's a serious problem in Jamaica, and it is much, much more common than you believe. You understand? So at the end of the day, I'm just making this video to offer support, to offer advice, and anybody who going through it, feel free to contact me. I'm always giving out my contact. Share your story, and I can advise as best as I know how. You understand? But all I can say is it took me 5 years to be cordial with my ex. This year would be 6 years since we've separated and subsequently divorced. But at the end of the day, it took me a while. It took me until last year before I could be in a room with him and not get really angry. It took me time, and part of that was sharing my story. Sharing my story really helped me, right? Because I could work it through and I could let it go. So I just want you to know that you're not alone if you are going through this, and it does get better. It does get better. What is important is support from family and friends, right? Some of the signs you need to watch out for is if the man is trying to isolate you, if he's controlling, that means he's going to end up being abusive in the future. I'm telling you, when a man is trying to control you, to isolate you from your family and friends, that's never a good sign. When he won't give you your personal space, right? Do not allow a man to control you to the point where you cannot see your family or your friends. That's a recipe for disaster, right? You are your own person and you need to have your own life. All right, so that is one significant warning sign that you need to look out for. And if you are not even the type of person who have a lot of friends or family, reach out to people. Reach out. In Jamaica currently there isn't much that we have to offer victim support, but reach out to somebody. Reach out to me. I am willing to try and help you and or guide you or whatever. I'm not an expert, but I've been through it, so I know. And don't let anybody take your experience as trivial or trivialize your experience. Even if it's one incident, it's one incident too many. Do not be too much. Don't be in denial. Do not be in denial. Because if a man tell you say he's gonna kill you, if a man say, hey girl, me will kill you, he will kill you. He will kill you. And you need to take threats seriously. No man is supposed to, no man owns you. Nobody owns you. Right? You're not a commodity. You're your own person. Every part of your body, including your vagina, belongs to you. And this is something that you need to instill from day one in your relationship. Don't make no man feel so them own you. Right? And do not commoditize yourself either for likes or whatever. Don't make yourself a commodity, because that is another part of the problem why we are in this predicament, right? And basically that's all I have to say. Remember to like my Facebook page, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click the notification button so that you can know when I've posted a video or I go live. Remember to catch my program Monday Morning Meds every Monday morning at 9 o'clock live on Facebook and YouTube. Remember also to check out Healing You Naturally on Thursday mornings on my Facebook and YouTube channel as well. And that's really just it. So take care of yourselves. Blessings. Oh, and support my website, rightmango.club. Remember, everything Kamla the Right Mango is there, including all my products, my books, everything that you need. All right, take care. Bye bye.